Moana 2, tracking for record-breaking Thanksgiving opening weekend. This is massive news because not only do we have Wicked and Gladiator opening, but we have Moana 2. So let's take a look at this. Walt Disney's animation Moana 2 is sailing toward a record-shattering $125 to $135 million opening over the 5-day Thanksgiving holiday weekend, according to the tracking data shared with The Hollywood Reporter. That's very intriguing because if you take a look at what's come out over the past few years during the Thanksgiving time frame, they've done decent, but nothing has been as big as these films. If tracking data is correct from these two sources is right, Moana 2 will score the top 5 Thanksgiving opening weekend debut of all time at the domestic opening box office, a record currently held by a fellow Disney juggernaut, Frozen, at $93.6 million, as well as the biggest 5-day opening gross of all time, not adjusted for inflation. Frozen 2, which also opened the weekend before the holiday versus midweek, currently holds the record with $125 million in ticket sales. I'm certainly looking forward to Moana 2. I mean, there's no reason to think it's going to be a flop. There's really no reason to think that Moana 2 is going to be a flop with these types of numbers. With those types of numbers going against it, $125 to $135 million opening weekend, that's insane to me. That you can have close to $100 million, if not over $100 million for Wicked just 5 days before you hit your target demographic of women, kids, families. Gladiator 2 has no competition from then all the way until probably Kraven the Hunter. It has that adult grown-up area spot all just stuck together. It's all just there. They are stuck in there. You got nothing. So I think it's going to be a profitable film. Moana 2 is going to be a profitable film. But if you take a look at what we've gotten over the past few Novembers, we haven't had the best luck with, say, a Thanksgiving opening. Literally, a Thanksgiving opening is a rarity now. It is a rarity. So looking at what we've gotten over the past little bit, we have, of course, got this upcoming weekend. But last year, I'm currently looking at the numbers. The numbers is telling me that during that weekend, the 30th, we had we had literally nothing during the Thanksgiving weekend. We had nothing during the Thanksgiving weekend, which is pretty damn sad. That is pretty damn sad. But we had The Hunger Games, Napoleon, Trolls still in theaters. Thanksgiving was still in theaters. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. That's all really fine and dandy. But, and I know that you guys can't see this, but I am going to bring it up here in just a second or two. Just a second or two. 2022 weekend. Let's take a look at this. So let's go here, and I'll bring this up. This was Thanksgiving weekend. I believe this was Thanksgiving weekend, and we had almost nothing opening. Nothing. So here we go. Taking a look at the numbers, we haven't had a good Thanksgiving weekend. There's Black Panther on Thanksgiving weekend. Okay? So there's Black Panther at number 1. We're going to go to 2021. Remarkably, look at this. Look at this. December 3rd, Encanto opened. Encanto opened a couple days before Thanksgiving. That's a box office bomb. Ghostbusters was in theaters. Cool. Cool, right? 2020? 2020. The year where very few movies were in theaters. Thanksgiving weekend. Boom. Oh, sorry. Nope. That was not Thanksgiving weekend. This was Thanksgiving weekend right here. Crude's a New Age, Freaky, the War with Grandpa. Nothing opened in 2020 because it was 2020. But then you go to the juggernaut. You go to the juggernaut of Thanksgiving week right here. What's number one? Frozen 2. Frozen 2, Knives Out, Ford v Ferrari, Queen and Slim, and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. One of the top 5 that week. That's crazy to me. Now, we haven't had a big film open Thanksgiving weekend since then. But, to each their own, right? I think that this is really good numbers. This is really good numbers for Moana 2. $125 to $135 million does lead it towards the pack of Frozen and Frozen 2, if not over Frozen 2. And this is still a couple weeks out beforehand. Does it make it a billion-dollar film? Not necessarily. Then again, there's not much competition for families from there until the beginning of the year. So, overall, what do you think about that? Are you excited for Moana 2? Do you think it's going to do great at the box office, like the box office tracking is saying? But there's that, and there we go. What do you think about that? Do you think it's going to be a great opening weekend for Moana 2? Leave me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts.